hermeneutical homileticians of the gospel, you'll miss that day. Because some of us will actually think that they, the ones that brought him to Jesus, had to have all their stuff together. Every now and again, I need to let somebody know I'm just as messed up as you are. I'm just a sinner just like you are. I wish I had somebody. I done made mistakes, but thanks be unto God, I know where to go to get the help I need. Are y'all praying with me? Somebody say, he talking about they. They had heard all about Jesus. They heard about this great miracle worker. They were hoping for another great miracle. But what does Jesus do? Does Jesus heal him when they brought him there? No. He takes the man aside. The man who was isolated needed connection. Jesus takes him aside, isolates him even more, but in cutting him off from the world from which he was already cut off, Jesus brings him into a relationship with himself. And every now and again, you got to learn how to cut yourself off from people who can't help you but constantly hurt you. Oh, I'm preaching now. Y'all praying with me? Jesus places his fingers in the man's ears, his thumbs on his tongue, and looking up to heaven, Jesus said, "Epaphata," which means be open. That's if you look at the text, if you look at the text, that's all Jesus says. Jesus doesn't have a counseling session with him. Only thing that Jesus said was "Epaphata," be open, because he knew the man was closed up. He didn't sit him down, take him through 10 weeks of orientation. He didn't sit him down and tell him how he needed to have his life together. He didn't sit him down and tell him you better stop sinning and doing all this kind of stuff. No, when Jesus helped him, he just preached one word to him, "Epaphata," which means to be open, and he sent him on his way. Well, I'm finished preaching the sermon, but because y'all ain't shouting yet, y'all praying with me? Let me give you these lessons, and then we'll get out of here. The Lord teaches us some lessons about effective ministry when he ministers to a man that was messed up and closed up. This man, he was messed up. I'm telling you, he was messed up. I know many of y'all looking at him, but he had a handicap, preacher. Yeah, but he was messed up. He was messed up. Understand this, everyone, that this man is not to have said that he even asked for this. It didn't say in the text that this man begged for this. Nor can we really say that he deserved this. I don't know his feelings, how he felt about this. I can't really describe his faults or why he was in this. I don't even understand. I don't know nothing about his failures, nor to the extent of how frustrated he really was about this. We don't know his name. We don't know if he was Papa's favorite boy, or we don't know if he was the Slewfoot's uncle and son. Are y'all praying with me? The only thing we know about this man was his condition. And sometimes the only way folks know you is by your condition. Y'all ain't praying, huh? This man was deaf. He was dumb. But I need to go and give these points so we can get out of here. Some of y'all hungry. Amen. Jesus, number one, Jesus shows us that ministry can take place to the closed up even when you've been rejected before. Jesus shows us that ministry can still take place to the closed up even when you've been rejected before. I stopped by here today to tell somebody that there may be just one person who needs your ministry. Your problem is not everybody's problem, but everybody got a problem. Are y'all praying with me? I know you're sitting next to somebody that's all dressed up, looking good, smelling good, got the Bulgari on, got the jupe on, got the Old Spice on. I know they got that stuff on, but your problem might not be their problem, but everybody's got a problem. And Jesus is more concerned with dealing with man's ailments than anything. This passage opens him leaving Gentile territory, the cities of Tyre and Sidon. He's headed back to Galilee. But I want you to understand what it took for Jesus to get back here to heal this man who was deaf and dumb, who had an impediment with his speech. Because we understand from reading this gospel that it wasn't too long ago that these people had kicked Jesus out of the area. Y'all praying with me? Mark chapter 5 says that when he had dealt with a man who had a demonic spirit, he was in the tombs cutting on himself. They were trying to bound him with fetters and chains. They had told him when he had released the demon out of him. Y'all remember that story, don't you? When the demon came out of him and went into swine, the swine killed himself. It says that these same folks told Jesus, get out of here. We don't want you here. But Jesus came back. Oh, see, y'all missed it. Y'all ain't shouting yet. Somebody in here ought to be excited about the fact that Jesus came back. Tell your neighbor, I'm glad that he came back. I'm glad that he came back. I'm glad that he came back. He didn't have to. He came back. He came back. But then I had to ask myself the question, why did he come back? Well, what made the difference? Well, why did Jesus come back? I think the answer is found actually in Mark chapter 5, verse 19 and 20. The redeemed man who had a bad spirit. Notice how I said that. A bad spirit. This is worse than bad. This is really bad. Are y'all praying with me? You asked me. I just made it up. Are y'all praying with me? This man who had a bad spirit, I believe that he went home and told everybody that he met a man named Jesus. Well, what'd he do? Well, I was in the tombs. I was cutting on myself. And I couldn't make it. Y'all family, y'all was the one that was bounding me with chains and fetters. But when he came, he put me back in my right mind, and I wanted to go with him. I really wanted to go with him, but he told me, he said to me, no, you can't go with me. Go back home and minister to your folks. I believe that this man who had been redeemed came home and ministered to his people. Y'all praying with me? And when they heard Jesus was coming back, they brought this man, because I believe somebody said to themselves, well, if he can heal old Tyrone over there. Boy, y'all know how messed up Pookie and Ray Ray was. You know he was messed up. Good, he was so messed up, he was in the tomb. You know, he was in the graveyard, cutting on himself. Child, you heard about Tyrone? Yeah, I heard about him. What about Tyrone? Tyrone was in the grave cutting on himself. They put chains on him, but girl, he back at his mama house now. Now he come back preaching.